Howdy everybody, welcome to 307 country. Well, we got another project with the furnace today. So the flame would kick on and off intermittently, like it wasn't burning right. Whatever switches there were to open the gas valve to make the burner burn weren't working. So I did a lot of wire tracing and checking switches, continuity, and things like that. And the nice thing about this furnace is ancient. So there's basically, well, there's four, I found out. Now there's only three thermal switches. One of them controls obviously the fan when the burner kicks on and gets warm in the firebox and the main blower kicks on. That switch I think is bad because when the flame would kick on, the fan would kick on and then shut off and kick on and shut off. So I've got a new switch for that coming. Then there was the switch up by the fan that would turn the flame off if it got too hot up at the fan box. So basically, like if the fan wasn't running, or when the thermostat shuts off, the flame would shut off, but the fan would stay running until it cooled down enough. Then the fan would shut off. I don't know. Anyway, what I found was the switch up by the fan, the blower motor, also runs to a switch in the combustion motor. Now, the switch in the combustion motor needs to close in order to open the gas valve. The switch in the combustion motor only closes when the combustion motor is running. That way, the flame's not going to kick on if that motor's not running and wind up filling the house with CO2. So that motor has to be running. It closes the switch, opens the gas valve. Well, I found out that the fan runs. So I worked on it. I mean, I took it out, made sure it worked and everything. But the switch doesn't close, so it wouldn't kick the flame on even though the fan was running. So I disconnected the wires coming from that switch and just closed the circuit on those two wires, and the flame would kick on. So we're going to go ahead and tear into that switch on this motor, and we'll see if we can figure it out. If we can fix it. If not, we'll have to order a new either switch part. I don't know if I can just get that part, or if I have to order a whole new motor, if I can find one, because like I said, this furnace is 50 years old. So I'll bring it in and we'll see what we can figure out. Alright, so here's the motor. Obviously power. These are the two leads that come off of the switch. When the fan's running, this circuit should be closed, and it wasn't working. I could probably, well, I will wire up the motor to 110 and test it here in a little bit, but the switch is back here in the back of this. So let's see if we can figure this out. And I did have this kind of apart when I was working on the furnace the first time, but I didn't really look at it or understand what was going on here. Let's see if I can get these wires loose. I hate these kind of clips, but okay, so there we go. So the centrifugal force of the motor spinning pulls that down, which should close that switch. So it looks like let's pull that switch off of there and see if we can figure something out. So, get a lot of people, you know, asking like, how did you learn this stuff? Or I'm afraid to, you know, work on your own stuff, or things like that. So here's my take on things. Got something that's not working right here, and if it's broke and I take it apart and try to fix it, if I don't get it fixed, it's still broke. I didn't lose anything in trying to fix it. If I can take it apart and fix it, well, then I don't have to go buy new parts or, you know, find somebody to fix something or whatever. So that's kind of my thinking on things, and why I mean, you know, I'm not an appliance repairman by any means, but if you start taking stuff apart and pay attention to how it goes together, or how you take it apart, or whatever the case may be, take pictures. You know, I put screws back in places that when I take something apart, I'll take the screw out, and so it looks like that's just a little button right there. But anyway, yeah, so I just tear into things. I'm not afraid to try it. I mean, you're not losing anything if you don't get it fixed. Let me grab my tester and we'll see if this works. Okay, I just got it set on continuity. It'll go to 0 if the circuit's closed. I'll just so obviously we're working there. Push this down, it opens a circuit. So that's the thing. It's not working right. That little switch isn't popping back up. So I'm assuming it's probably just dirty. So let's see if we can clean it up and get it to work. Got a little brake clean. It's still sticking. Alright, I've just got my leads taped on here. If I push the button, it opens a circuit, but it won't reset when you, like, if you tap on it, it closes. So something in there is sticking for some reason. Keep fiddling with it here. Maybe I can get, you know, it cleaned out, or whatever's in there to clean out dirt or dust or whatever. Gumbo. It does have numbers on it, so I could. It's getting better. There we go. It's still catching in there somehow for some reason. Trying to see how it is fastened in there. And I can feel it kind of wiggle in this housing. But I can't tell how to get it out. Let me do a little closer inspection here, see if I can figure something out, see if I can either get it out or get it working better. Alright, I think I got it. She's a little Freol and some brake clean. I push on it, opens it, let go, it closes it. It's not sticky anymore. It's working. So let's put it back together and we'll plug it in and see if it works. There we go. It opened. And then if these centrifugals kick out, it should close the circuit. Open it, close it. So I got just a temporary cord here plugged in. And if you guys aren't too sure about electricity or don't want to fool with it, I would recommend not. There, it opened or closed the circuit. Closed it. Opened it. The only other thing I might do is move that motor up so it takes off a little easier when it starts up, but looks like we got her, so I'll be back in a minute. Alright, well, this is the switch. I got it pulled out of the housing that it was in. Right here. It's actually got two little holes, little detents there on each side, and then in here there's little divots that go in there, so it just kind of snaps in like so. But anyway, I messed around and you can see I wound up breaking it trying to get it out, and so I ordered a new one. There's numbers on the side there. I just put those into Google and found another switch just like it. This one works. So we'll go ahead and get this put in and soldered in here. That looks like how it was. There we go, just took a little pressure. Alright, so we got that in. You put the wire on these two here. That completes the circuit when the switch closes. Best way I've found to solder wires on little tabs like that is you got to get the wire soldered up good and then melt the solder to that fitting. So Use the torch here. Got some solder. That's soldered up pretty good. We'll like get a little more on there. Now I'll put the switch in the vise here. Just clamping it in real loose. Got a soldering iron here. This thing's kind of chintzy. It takes forever to get something hot with it. I've had it plugged in for probably 20 minutes. I bought another one today. It's a butane one, and it won't even light. So let's put it against this tab here that we want to solder it to. Push that wire against there. This thing takes forever to get hot. Let's try pushing the wire against there. There we go, finally melted. There we go, it's attached. Well, that's got them attached. And what I want to do is just get it to where that switch touches, and I want the same distance on each side, same distance the thread's showing. Well, I left my tester at the house where this furnace is at, so we're just gonna I'm just looking at the switch under here. It's depressed right now. Oh, okay. That should work. Make sure we're the same. Alright, I think we're good. Those wires got to be bent down pretty hard right there, so I wanted to make sure they stayed connected. There we go. Alright, that's in. Evidently dinner's done, so I'm gonna go have dinner and then I'll go put this in the furnace and make sure everything's working, and I'll be back after that. Okay, so you can see this blue wire here comes out from the transformer, goes up, goes through a switch back there. When that's closed, which it should stay closed all the time unless the fan isn't running and it gets too hot up there, and then that switch will open, but it's closed right now. So that sends signal back through this blue wire here back over to this little motor that we've been working on. And that switch, when that motor kicks on, that switch closes, completes the circuit, comes back through this blue wire here, back in, goes down, opens the valve on the gas. And you can see the gas valve's open, flames burning. So hopefully we've got her fixed. Just waiting for the firebox to get hot enough to kick the main fan on. Make sure, because that switch was, I don't know that it was bad, but it would like kick on and then turn off, and then kick on and turn off. So I ordered a new one just to see. So I'm going to throw my tester on there and see when it closes, and if it closes and then opens back up, or what the situation is there. But hopefully we got her fixed. I'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, well, that's got the furnace fixed. It's been a few days since I got everything put back together and got it running, got that switch fixed, so haven't heard from the renter, so I guess it must still be working. I know he's, as far as I know, he's out of firewood, so of course he didn't know he was going to be living there in the middle of winter, so he didn't have time to go get firewood, so, which he's not the type to go get firewood anyway, he'd have to buy it. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's working right, and I did order another motor just in case that one goes out, because it was acting up a little bit. So if it does go out, I'll just go replace the motor. But anyway, that's got that fixed. So on to the next thing. I think we'll be building an axe. I've got an axe set up. Got some handles from Buck and Billy Ray, 34.5 inch. So we're going to mount, put a Tassie on one, put that plumb signature on one. I'm not sure what I'll do on the third one, but that'll be the next thing that we do, I think. Appreciate everybody being here, and we'll see y'all on the next one. 307 out.